Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Paco here. Got a video here for you about Diablo 4 confirming something big about Scovos. We do have all the IGN gameplay and their videos coming out showing all this stuff. We do have a bunch of Diablo 4 content creators talking about stuff. But yeah, let's see what the big thing is that they confirmed about Diablo 4. Make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe on your way in, and let's get into it.
Blizzard just dropped 20 minutes of new Lord of Hatred gameplay, and there are some massive confirmations hidden within it. And we're not just talking about gameplay here, but confirmations about Scovos, the Amazons, and even Mephisto's plan. And some of these line up directly with the theories we've already talked about in previous videos. In this video, I'm going to break down what the Scovos Isles actually are, what's happening to the Amazons based.
The Scovos Isles are the home of the Amazons, and what happened to the Amazons, for those of you who don't know the lore, I'm sure he's going to go into it deeper than I will. But the Amazons have been facing an existential threat. They lost a lot, and I mean a lot, of their defenders. That's why we don't have an Amazon in Diablo 4. They're not able to spear anyone. Mephisto's plan is to take over Scovos and try to, if I remember correctly, try to invade the mainland. I mean, I know that's just kind of a general synopsis of what it is.
On this gameplay and what this all tells us about where Mephisto is going next. With that, let's jump right in. So the gameplay video starts off in a region called Atanos, and at first glance, it just looks like standard gameplay. You're fighting drowned, doing a whisper, nothing crazy. But if you actually look at the environment here, something feels off. This isn't a coastline or a beach. You've got damp sound everywhere, seafloor vegetation, and structures that look like they've been sitting underwater for a very long time. And then there's a section called the derelict courtyard where you can actually see waterlogged writing on the ground, almost like this used to be some kind of memorial. So this isn't just a shoreline, this is a place that used to be underwater. And this actually lines up really well with early Sanctuary lore. See, back when the Nephilim were first created, both angels and demons started to fear how powerful they were becoming. Lilith tried to protect them against the angels and demons, and when she committed the purge and killed most of them, Inarius banished her. And Inarius, he did not feel the same way about the Nephilim. He ended up sinking entire land masses that were inhabited by the Nephilim, wiping out huge portions of the early population. So when I see a place like Atanos, this feels like one of those locations, a city that's been underwater since.
I actually didn't know about the purge and wiping out a whole bunch of the early Nephilim. This is interesting. I'm glad that he's going into a lot of Thor. I'm learning stuff about the lore that I didn't even know.
The earliest days of Sanctuary, and now it's rising back up. And then we got confirmation of something else we've talked about before. At one point, the map is open and Atanos looks completely different from the rest of the region. It's literally connecting the eastern and western islands.
Oh yeah,
like a land bridge. So this basically confirms that the Scovos map that was leaked a few months back is confirmed, and more importantly, it wasn't natural. It was indeed raised, most likely by Akarat, or Mephisto through Akarat. And we've seen something similar before in Vessel of Hatred, when the tomb of Akarat was revealed via the parting of waters. It's absolutely possible that this can happen once more. And the best part about this, I did predict this back when we first saw the map a couple months ago. Also, one other thing we were correct about, the Amazons. 2 videos ago, we saw the cutscene between Adrian and Lorath, where I theorized that the Amazons are going to end up siding with Akarat, not realizing he's Mephisto, and will be siding with the Oracles instead. This gameplay clip confirms that. There's a moment where the player rides past a group of enemies, and if you look closely, some of them are humanoid. And when the player hovers over them, we get to see what their titles are: Corrupted Spear Maidens. This version of Scovos is after the campaign, which means Lorath doesn't successfully convince all of the Amazons. A portion of that.
I think it would be cool or it would have been cool if Blizzard would have put an Amazonian class in, and you were able to kind of play as an Amazon and give her like a really cool backstory where she was exiled because she wanted follow Akarat or Mephisto. So the queen banished her, she exiled her, and now she's coming back to try to save everybody. I think that would have been a really cool touch. Don't get me wrong, I like the Warlock class that's been added. I think it's pretty cool. I just think it would have made a lot more sense and been a lot cooler if they added an Amazon class in at this point in time and saved the Warlock class for a little later time. You don't even have to make the Amazon class bow because we do have the Demon Hunter. But you could have just made it straight spear gameplay or something like that, and yeah, I think it would have fit perfectly.
Have already sided with Mephisto. There's even a region that the player goes through called Akarat's Bulwark, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Fortified, defended, and full of corrupted Amazons. And these aren't just random enemies. This is a coordinated force, and they're blocking access further west. So whatever Mephisto is after, it's beyond that point, which lines up perfectly with Skartara and the idea that the pools of creation are located on that volcanic island. Now, on the other side of all this, we've got the Oracles. There's a stronghold called the Cosmic Archives, where you're helping one of them deal with something going very wrong. And this place is interesting because it's storing artifacts from both angels and demons. There's even a moment where one of the oracles is looking over this quote-unquote anchor that's supposed to balance both sides. And she just breaks down and says the balance is a lie. Hell is coming. So this is telling us a couple things. The oracles are already aware of what's happening. They've studied angels and demons extensively, and they're probably going to be aligned with us. And honestly, if anyone is going to have insight into what's going on with Heaven, Diablo, Baal, maybe even Tyrael, it's probably them. So I'm really excited to interact with them in the story and hopefully get some more lore tidbits about.
Yeah, I'm hoping the oracles kind of give us. I'm hoping that the oracles give us a glimpse into what could be coming into the future. Are we going to get like an Angels and Demons DLC? Is this going to be the end of Mephisto and we're going to move on to Diablo? I'm hoping the oracles do play kind of a central part in this DLC, is they brought back the Sightless Eye from Diablo 2. They have us traveling to Skovos and meeting with the Oracle and doing these strongholds. Hopefully, Blizzard is able to tie it all together.
Our favorite celestial friends and enemies. Now, the last thing that really stood out to me in this footage is the Saltwind Stronghold. There's this massive temple, clearly something that was also underwater at some point, dedicated to something called the Fathomless One. It's a huge sea creature surrounded by shipwrecks.
This is a dope-ass boss.
Clearly something that's been there for a long time. But the part that caught my attention wasn't the creature itself, it was its name, Grig Saltash. That name is very Lovecraftian, and it makes me wonder, are we being introduced to something beyond angels and demons? Because we already know that Lilith has been banished to the void before. She's come back, so it's not crazy to think something else might exist out there too. Now, outside of the lore bits, there are a few gameplay things worth noting. We get to see white and black buffs above the skill bar, and one of them displays a heraldic talisman, most likely indicating that these buffs are related to the new talisman and charm system and the new set bonuses that come with them. We also see war plans acting like a structured objectives, with it showing up as a quest on the right side of the UI and then also being displayed on the map. Here, the first objective is related to the Undercity. And then lastly, we finally get to see the reveal of fishing. It looks like it's part of the action wheel that you can use on any body of water, and the fish that you receive are of multiple rarities. There's even a scene where the player is fishing from lava in Skartara and scores.
I don't see fishing being a huge thing in Diablo 4. I mean, it could be. I've heard mixed things about the fishing in Diablo 4 from some of the people who got to try out the DLC already. One person says fishing is just fishing. You know, you can get some items, you can collect fish. Another one says that fishing is a new crafting mechanic, that you can get certain types of fish, and getting that fish, you can craft different types of gear all the way up to unique gear. So until I get my hands on it and I try out the fishing myself, I'm not exactly sure how it's going to be.
There's a unique fish. So I'm curious if there's going to be a separate collection tab for these fish and challenges as well, potentially rewarding us cosmetics and titles. Also on the map, under the renowned objectives, we get to see a new type of statue collectibles, which is similar to what we got in the original map with the statues of Lilith, as well as the tenets of Akarat back in Vessel of Hatred. And for the lore fans, looks like we're getting around 50 new side quests in Skovos. Finally,
that's nice.
Together, Skovos is literally rising from the ocean, the land bridge is real, The Amazons are split, with some siding with Mephisto. The Oracles are likely working with us, and whatever Mephisto is after, it's further west in Skartara. And if everything we're seeing continues in this direction, Lord of Hatred might be setting up something much bigger than just the Prime Evils. So what do you guys think about all this? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy Diablo lore and speculation like this, make sure to subscribe. I've got a lot more to cover leading into Lord of Hatred. And if you want to speculate or chat with me live, I stream on Twitch 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. So
I think it could kind of go either way. I think this Lord of Hatred DLC could be setting us up to completely eradicate Mephisto for the time being, or it could be setting up to introduce a whole new entire region to Diablo, and that's what Mephisto is after. I know the basic premise of this DLC is we're traveling to Skovos to go after a weapon of some sort. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe, help support the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.